The year is 2025, a year that will be remembered for a seismic shift in the landscape of American immigration policy. The Supreme Court has made a decision that could alter the lives of millions. A shadow has fallen over America, casting a long and foreboding presence over the nation. This shadow represents the uncertainty and fear that now grips the hearts of many. America, a nation built by immigrants, has always been a beacon of hope and opportunity. From the early settlers to the waves of newcomers who arrived at Ellis Island, the story of America is the story of immigration. The Supreme Court, in a deeply divided 5-4 decision, has just unleashed a legal weapon with the potential to tear families apart and reshape the very fabric of our society. This decision is not just a legal ruling, it is a statement about who we are as a nation. This weapon is the 1798 Alien Enemies Act, a relic of a bygone era now aimed at deporting millions deemed national security risks. Originally intended for a different time and context, this act is now being repurposed in a way that could have devastating consequences. This ruling sends shockwaves through immigrant communities, creating an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. Families who have lived here for generations now find themselves questioning their future. Many live in constant fear of a knock on the door, a sudden detention, and the possibility of being torn away from their loved ones. The anxiety is palpable, and the sense of security that once existed has been shattered. For some, this means a forced farewell to the only home they've ever known. The emotional toll is immense, as families are faced with the heart-wrenching decision to leave behind everything they hold dear. The legal battle lines have been drawn, but the human cost of this decision is already being measured in shattered dreams and broken families. Protests erupt across the nation, as people come together to voice their opposition and support those affected. This is not just a legal issue, it's a moral crisis. Communities are holding vigils, lighting candles, and praying for a change of heart. The question now is whether compassion and justice will prevail. We must confront the chilling reality that America, the land of opportunity, is on the precipice of becoming a land of exclusion. The values that once defined this nation are being tested, and the outcome will shape the future for generations to come. The Alien Enemies Act, a relic of the Adams administration, was initially intended to address wartime threats. Enacted during a period of heightened tensions with France, it granted the president sweeping powers to detain and deport non-citizens deemed dangerous. Fast forward to 2025 and this antiquated law, steeped in the politics of fear, has been resurrected and repurposed. It's no longer French warships threatening our shores, but the phantom menace of the other. The Trump administration, invoking the specter of terrorism and national security, has weaponized this law to target individuals based on their origin, religion, or simply their immigration status. The implications are terrifying. The Act's vague language allows for broad interpretations of who constitutes a national security risk, potentially ensnaring millions in its web. This is not about protecting America, it's about scapegoating the vulnerable. Hand in hand with the Supreme Court's ruling comes a chilling development, a $45 billion expansion of immigrant detention facilities. Picture this, sprawling complexes, often in remote locations, designed to hold individuals captured in the dragnet of this new immigration enforcement regime. These are not just holding cells, they are warehouses of human misery, places where hope withers under the harsh glare of fluorescent lights, and the constant threat of deportation hangs heavy in the air. Profit-driven private prison companies stand to reap billions from this expansion, their bottom lines fattened by the plight of desperate families. This is not justice, it's a moral abomination. America, the land of the free, is rapidly becoming the world's largest jailer, locking up men, women, and children fleeing violence and persecution. We must ask ourselves, what have we become? A maze of restrictions, navigating the new visa landscape. In recent years, the landscape of visa regulations has become increasingly convoluted and challenging to navigate. What was once a relatively straightforward process has now turned into a complex maze filled with numerous obstacles and uncertainties. For many, the dream of starting a new life in the United States has become a daunting and often disheartening journey. The assault on immigrants doesn't stop there. The changes in visa policies have created an atmosphere of fear and anxiety among immigrant communities. People who have lived and worked in the U.S. for years are now facing the threat of deportation, while new applicants are met with an overwhelming array of requirements and restrictions. The uncertainty surrounding their status has left many feeling vulnerable and unwelcome. A labyrinth of new visa restrictions has been erected, making it nearly impossible for individuals to legally enter or remain in the United States. The process has become so convoluted that even those who meet all the criteria find themselves entangled in bureaucratic red tape. The sheer volume of paperwork and the meticulous scrutiny of every detail have turned the visa application process into a grueling ordeal. From stricter eligibility requirements to increased scrutiny of applications, the message is clear. America's doors are slamming shut. The new policies have introduced a range of barriers that applicants must overcome, from proving financial stability to demonstrating ties to their home country. Each step is designed to be more challenging than the last, effectively deterring many from even attempting to apply. The Trump administration, under the guise of national security, has weaponized the visa process, transforming it from a pathway to opportunity into an obstacle course designed to trip people up and send them back to the very dangers they sought to escape. The rhetoric of protecting the nation has been used to justify measures that are, in reality, aimed at reducing the number of immigrants. This has led to a significant increase in visa denials and deportations, often with little regard for the personal circumstances of those affected. This is not about protecting America, it's about keeping people out. The consequences are devastating. Families are being torn apart as loved ones are forced to leave the country. Children are separated from their parents, and spouses are left to navigate life without their partners. The emotional toll on these families is immeasurable, and the long-term impact on their lives is profound. Families are being torn apart, with parents and children often finding themselves on opposite sides of the border. The pain of separation is compounded by the uncertainty of when or if they will ever be reunited. The emotional and psychological impact on children in particular is severe, as they struggle to understand why their family has been divided. Students denied the chance to pursue their dreams as educational opportunities slip through their fingers. Many have spent years working towards their goals, only to have their aspirations dashed by a visa rejection. The loss of these opportunities not only affects the students themselves, but also deprives the U.S. of the potential contributions of these bright, motivated individuals. And talented individuals seeking to contribute to our nation are being turned away. Skilled professionals, artists, and scientists who could have enriched American society are instead forced to take their talents elsewhere. The loss of these individuals represents a significant missed opportunity for the U.S., as their skills and innovations could have driven progress and growth in various fields. The current visa landscape is not just a barrier to entry, it is a barrier to the future. From students to dreamers, stories of lives upended. In this section we delve into the personal narratives of those whose lives have been dramatically altered by immigration policies. These are not just numbers or faceless statistics. These are real people with dreams, aspirations, and futures that hang in the balance. Behind the statistics and legal jargon are real people. Their lives upended by these draconian policies. Each policy change, each new regulation sends ripples through communities affecting families, friendships, and futures. The impact is profound and often devastating. Take Rumaisa Ozturk, a brilliant doctoral student at Tufts University, whose student visa was abruptly revoked due to her outspoken advocacy for Palestinian rights. Rumaisa had dedicated years to her studies, contributing valuable research and enriching the academic community. Her sudden visa revocation not only halted her academic progress, but also left her in a state of uncertainty and fear. Rumaisa's story is not an isolated incident. Across the country, hundreds of international students face similar fates. These students come to the United States with hopes of gaining a world-class education and contributing to society, only to find their dreams shattered by unpredictable and often unjust immigration policies. Hundreds of student visas have been revoked, often based on flimsy pretexts or political motivations. The reasons given are frequently vague, leaving students in a legal limbo. This not only disrupts their education but also causes immense emotional and psychological stress. The message is clear. Dissent will not be tolerated even from those seeking to contribute to American society. The chilling effect on free speech and academic freedom is palpable. Students and scholars are increasingly wary of expressing their views, fearing repercussions that could jeopardize their stay in the country. Then there are the dreamers, those brought to the United States as children, who have known no other home. These young individuals have grown up in American schools, embraced American values, and contributed to their communities in countless ways. Yet, their legal status remains precarious. Despite their contributions to our communities and unwavering belief in the American dream, they remain vulnerable to deportation, living each day with the fear that their lives could be upended. The uncertainty takes a toll on their mental health, their ability to plan for the future, and their sense of belonging. These are not just anecdotes, they are the human faces of a heartless immigration system. Each story is a testament to the resilience and courage of those who continue to fight for their right to stay in the country they call home. Their struggles highlight the urgent need for compassionate and just immigration reform.